Hey, everyone, and welcome to episode 91 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I am your host, Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C-Kohler,
Hey guys.
and Zonic.
Hello.
And tonight, is there any news? I don't know.
There was the fully stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, what was it April 6th? You should be getting a sneak peek at C2E2. And then the second season is going to be called Progressive, and third season is going to be Alternative.
Right. So it sort of gives us an idea of what to expect, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just naming the seasons after different types of rock.
Yeah. I'll also say, in sort of tangentially related news, what is it? Butch or Hartman or whatever from, the guy who created Fairly Odd Parents and all that
Danny
sort of
Phantom.
stuff. Yeah, he left Nickelodeon because they weren't letting him do the sort of stuff he wanted to do. And apparently he's now freelance. He's worked at Cartoon Network before. So, maybe he goes to DeMarco and says, hey, I want to pitch you something cool.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because apparently... Yeah, no, go for it.
What do you do at Cartoon Network?
Apparently he was part of that old cartoons, team with Gendy and all of them. Like, I don't know if he made any of them himself, but apparently he was, part of the, cohort.
His art style doesn't ring a bell from any of those old shows.
No, I don't think he did any of the design or anything himself, but I do remember, I think there was one point he was talking about an episode of Johnny Bravo he helped make. So,
Butch Hartman directs this episode of Space Dandy.
Honestly, I'd be interested to see, if he wanted to make a show for Toonami, he could probably do a pretty decent job.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I just think it's one of those things that DeMarco's probably like, it might be worth the meeting.
Sure. Shall we talk about the block?
Yes, please.
Dragon Ball Super Episode 50, Goku versus Black, a closed-off road to the future. So, here's Goku Black, and Goku's like, ooh, I really want to fucking fight myself.
And Beerus
Goku
is
Black
like,
is also like,
cool.
I really want to fight Goku.
And Beerus is like, I thought fish sausage was good.
No, he was like, they're in my belly.
They're in my belly!
In my belly!
I can't believe they totally took that liberty.
It's the best.
I reward these dubs / localizers who go there,
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then Goku Black is like, oh no, back to the past.
Yeah, he ran out of time.
Apparently that's a thing.
And C-Kohler will no longer be appearing on the Toonami Escape podcast. Thank you for all your
I
hard
didn't
work.
even make that up. Somebody in the thread said that. I had to write it down.
So you stole their bad joke.
Yeah.
No, it's I guess it just goes to show Bulma's better at time travel than whoever, gave Goku Black time travel.
Oh yeah, because they reveal in this episode he has a time ring.
Which
Yes.
is only given to Kais.
So they have shittier time travel than Bulma does. That's kind of sad that like the gods are like, we can travel through time for a limited amount of, time, and Bulma's like, bitch, I can do whatever I want.
The Kais
Like-
kind of suck in general.
Yeah, they do. They're not good.
They realized they sucked, so they made actual gods.
Speaking of Time Machine and Bulma, she remembered that she still had the original Time Machine from the Cell arc.
God.
What a change.
Continuity.
I thought that
Yep.
thing blew up.
No.
No, the other version did.
Right.
There was like 3 different timelines in that arc, so it was all very confusing.
There's the one Trunks used to go back to the past, back to the future, then back to the past again, and then back to the future again.
Right.
Then there's the one Cell used once to come back to the past.
Oh, okay, right.
Which was also one that Trunks used to go back to the past, then back to the future. But he never went back to the past.
What? Wait. Stop.
No, he had a different one.
Yeah.
No,
I think
Cell.
Rex was right.
No, Cell stole one of the time machines from Trunks.
Yes,
He
but
ki-
that's
he
in
killed a ver-
that's in a
That's a third. That's a third timeline.
Yes, that's a third timeline, but that's still only 2 time machines.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe the original one we just saw blow up,
Good times.
which was then put out adorably by the Paw Patrol.
The Peel-Off Rescue Squad.
They're the best.
I like them. Man, why do I like these characters so much? They should be
amusing.
offensive, but they're just like cute and funny.
Yeah, they're amusing.
They're basically Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Pretty
If
much.
Ash suddenly could, if Ash and his Pokemon were like level a billion and could like blow up the Earth, and Team Rocket was still running around trying to kidnap Pikachu, this is what the Peel-Off gang is.
Yeah.
Someone
I
is
kinda
like,
like-
they've completely forgotten about world domination, and it's like, motherfucker.
Well, they did mention that their whole scheme right now is that they know that Bulma is like one of the most richest people in the world, so they're just like doing odd jobs in the hopes that they'll pay her or that she'll pay them, basically.
Like they're not even trying to get the Dragon Balls at this point.
Speaking of which, Maya's still alive in the future.
Oh yeah,
Good times.
the subway
Yeah.
Twitch.
That was
Unfortunately-
unexpected.
Trunks can't take a pulse.
He's very
Apparently.
bad at it.
Honestly, we should have suspected it when like Bulma was clearly shown like disintegrating, and then Maya's just like, ugh.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, Trunks was about to get blown to shit. So it's not like he had a ton of time to really check. I guess he maybe just probably should not have assumed she died.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, it's a fair assumption.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not exactly like he had all the time in the world. He was in the
Mhm.
hurry because Black was standing right there.
Yep.
Anyway, anything else from Dragon Ball Super?
We get a new ending.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
A dubbed ending.
I watched it a couple more times. I kind of like it. It's okay. I like the graphics in it. Like the visuals are very cool. The song's a little almost cheesy, but
Well, yeah.
I kind of like the imagery.
It's fine. I don't even remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right.
I
It
mean,
sounds like
It exists.
yeah. It's like ha ha hoo hoo ha 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 ha. You know, it's like really happy.
Goku's killing everyone! Yay! Dun 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 dun.
It's the new shiny.
Yeah.
They've still got that extremely happy like title screen music. It's like dun 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 dun. dun. It's like everyone is dead. All hope is lost. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, Kai.
No.
Yes. Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 149. Boo, overwhelmed, ultimate Gohan superpower. In this episode, fuck that guy.
Yep.
Like, regular Gohan is kicking him around the earth. That's cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is like above Super Saiyan 3 Gohan, so it's like I wonder how they're gonna make him lose so that Goku can save the day.
I give it 2 episodes before that happened.
I've looked at the episode title for the next episode.
It's next episode.
I
In
mean,
this
we gotta
episode,
remember.
Boo
we gotta
stops
remember
getting
this
his
is-
ass
oh.
kicked.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, we got to remember that this is Kai. So some things do get trimmed, I guess.
Can't have Gohan looking too cool.
He gets an episode and that's it.
Yeah.
In the middle of this episode, Blue flies off to be like, okay, author, how are you going to get me out of this one? And Toriyama's like, here,
I got
take
nothing.
this, go back. But it was fucking badass when he just, like, shoved the beam back into his mouth.
It was amazing.
That was good. Also,
It was-
fortunately, Dende's still alive.
Yep. Well,
Sorry,
they had to keep the rest button going somehow.
What were you going to say, Seacoler?
Oh, I just that it is kind of nice for a change to actually see Boo getting his ass handed to him. I mean, even knowing that like Gohan isn't going to win, it is just satisfying to see Boo losing.
Mm-hmm.
Still
And he's
gonna-
losing. And he's losing so convincingly.
Go ahead, Sonic.
Oh, I was gonna say, and this still takes 4 more months to finish.
Oh, God.
There are 20 more episodes.
How is that even possible? I mean, at this point, like, Gohan winning should be, like, the most foregone conclusion ever, and yet we all know it's not going to happen. It's just like, the dude is so strong at this point that there's no reason for him to lose, and yet...
I think the thing I don't like about it though is that like we don't know why he's stronger.
They unlocked his hidden potential.
Because
Okay,
they told us so.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, like he didn't really earn it, and it doesn't make like nothing in Dragon Ball really makes sense. But
No.
like on some level, like I can get like the difference between Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, or like Kaioken times 10.
Right.
Like those kind of things make sense to me. This was an old man dancing around for fucking 24 hours, and suddenly he's stronger. Like I don't get it.
It
See,
doesn't
I just...
look like he's stronger. Like it looks like he's just performing the exact same moves that every other character does. So it's like, how am I supposed to tell the difference?
Right.
Look,
Exactly.
Basically, when they hit Frieza, everyone could blow up a planet, and they decided there was no way to actually make anything more impressive than that. So now now every like mountain shattering kick, they all shatter mountains, but sometimes one's more impressive than it used to be, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
here's where they could have done it better. Why didn't the old man teach him like a move? Should have taught him a new move. And then
Because we
This is
haven't
Dragon Ball.
because Shonen because Shonen has not discovered. Oh, people should have different abilities
Yeah.
and actually
mean-
use them to fight.
I mean, keep in mind, at this point, Gohan's so ridiculously strong that if he did have a custom move and he used it on Boo, that would be the end of the fight. Like, there would be no way for him to survive.
Well, maybe, but I'm just saying that like they're not illustrating.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like Sonic said, they're not really illustrating him being stronger, other than the fact that he's winning. It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't seem any stronger to me. He looks like he's just confident. That's basically it.
I mean,
And
that's
that's literally
sort
what
of
it
the
is. He
problem.
just had some you just gave him some confidence.
Maybe.
He's exactly
He's-
the same as he was before. He's just
He's
confident
like,
now.
you just got to believe in yourself, buddy. You got this.
The more you know. Series ends.
No, but apparently the way I always sort of read it, and this is blatantly wrong, given, what's going on in Super and whatnot, but like, I was just always like, his ultimate form is where he would be if he actually bothered training, normally.
Mm.
So it was
No.
a catch up. It was a catch up to everyone else.
Well, I mean, it put him above everyone else. He's like literally the strongest person in the universe at this point. It's just sort of like, if Gohan trained normally, like the way Goku and Vegeta do, there'd be no excuse for him to be weaker than they are. So they're constantly having to slingshot him around. You got to make him weaker, and then they got to slingshot him back, and it's just a really dumb thing that they got themselves stuck in.
Mm-hmm. This is all because they listen to fans.
Yeah, I mean, like, hypothetically, he should have been the shonen protagonist of this show by now, but
Yeah.
people didn't want to give up on Goku, so.
If you're gonna pull a JoJo, you have to pull the JoJo early, before people get really attached.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I see what you mean. I follow you.
Black Clover.
Do we have to?
Black Clover, episode 9, Beasts.
Did anyone actually watch this one?
Yes, I did watch every second of it. In this episode, Asta's cut some mist with the sword.
I'm shocked.
And this ice dude is super boring and
They're
dumb.
all super boring and dumb.
And Noelle is like, I don't care, I'm a royal. And then a girl's like, I'm crying. And she's like, I have to fight.
Yeah. Noelle got a character arc in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
At least you got something.
Let's not forget the fact there was a 3-minute summary at the beginning of the episode about what happened last time.
Yeah,
Wow.
we reached One Piece level,
The
recap.
spirit of One Piece recaps lives on.
Yeah.
No,
Perot
yet
was
we're- Like, what
and then
episode
on
number
Boy's
is
action
this?
there.
Episode 9.
Episode 9, and we're already at the 3-minute One Piece style recaps. Like,
We've
what
already reached the point where we have both wealth, fame, power, and just
The 3
replay
minutes.
half of the last episode every episode.
Oh, you know what, though? That reminds me. So we already know, obviously, this series is basically Naruto, right? We also know
Naruto,
that,
but garbage.
right? But then it also, like you said, it also has elements of One Piece in there. But
Does it?
now, well,
What are
yeah,
the One Piece elements?
well, like fame,
wealth, fame, power.
No, that's just me referring to
Yeah.
the fact that they have to open every episode with the same.
Okay. He wants to be the
Forever.
Wizard King. He wants to be the Wizard King,
I
aka
mean,
the Pirate King.
These are
I mean, it's
I don't know.
Hokage.
Hokage.
Whatever. But now they've got Attack on Titan stuff, because apparently their whole world is based like the Titan world, where they're like these provinces, and then in the center are like the royalty.
Oh yeah, it's like up here on
They're
the
just
awesome mountain.
copying everything.
Up here on Olympus is where the humans live.
Yeah, the
Then
royalty.
down here in regular Greece is where the commoners, who is where the inferior people live, and then down here in the pit is where the scum live.
And we're the
Yeah.
scum.
Saucy Village is in the dumpster.
Well, of course it is.
Why do you call it Saucy Village?
That's what it's called.
No, I mean, like, why would they name it that?
I don't know. They're stupid.
dumb
Because they're
name.
Japanese and they don't know what that word is.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, saucy.
Speaking of saucy situations, we got that backstory with Ian Sinclair's character, and then the fact that he gets captured with the old man, and then the old man pulls his pants down, the old man grabs his sword, and oh god, that sounds worse.
You made it sound worse than it actually was.
In Magna's backstory, he robs the town until they like him.
Yeah.
That old man looked like a character from Attack on Titan, by the way.
He probably was.
That old man looks like a background character in a large crowd in Attack on Titan.
Yes. He has the same, like, facial scruff that all the characters in Attack on Titan do in the background.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But apparently the old dude died, so whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
I'm not buying that. He's still alive.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, like
he'll be back.
I'm watching the show too, but like in a like at a distance kind of way, because I'm trying to watch it, but it's also so just not interesting. It's hard to pay attention.
It's the worst.
I'm trying to remember the last time I kind of felt this specific way about a show that was this early in the night. So like I'm just counting Naruto Shippuden here, which is the obvious parallel, but
right. SAO?
No,
Well, no, I mean that was at least
to SAO every week.
Yeah, we almost enjoyed our anger.
I mean, this is almost
This is like Unicorn.
No, Unicorn was extremely boring. Even Black Clover gives me more stuff to riff on than Unicorn.
Yeah.
This is more like a Dimension W that's 50 episodes.
Yeah. That's a good
Dimension W had a couple of interesting things. You know, they had like Electric Ninja Batman and stuff.
I've already forgotten everything about Dimension W.
I just remember there was like an android girl, and that seemed like there was like potential there for her character to be interesting, and then they just didn't do anything with it.
Right.
Talk about, they put her in the doll. That's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this show is just like, it's just happening.
Mm-hmm.
It exists, and it's something we have to sit through before JoJo happens.
I mean, honestly, if it was like blatantly offensive, I could be, that's good. At least it's something.
The problem is, in many ways, it is blatantly offensive, but just not enough. Like, I'm blatantly offended by the character who loves his sister too much.
Oh God, I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm. I will never let you forget about that character. Anyway, on to good shows.
Please let me forget that character.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Episode 24, High Priestess, Part 2. In this episode, they just talk underwater.
And Polnareff.
Polnareff is straight up yelling underwater and not drowning.
Well, they're using their stands.
Yes, but then for like 5 minutes, Polnareff is getting attacked by the stand with underwater and is like, visibly mouth open. It hurts so bad. And like, I'm fine.
Yeah, how is he not drowning?
The handshake gave him super strength.
That literally just came out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, like, that's not how you don't drown. You got to learn to breathe underwater. Super strength ain't gonna do shit.
Well, we were talking about I'm joking about the handshake. The goofy, like, 15-second handshake that they...
Who knew that him and Kakuin were, like, amazing friends now?
I'm not sure when that happened, but, I'm happy to see Polnareff has one friend at least. Like, someone cares about him.
Oh, Chariot, you're my only friend. Also, you're me, but whatever. Anyway, so there's the High Priestess turns into a giant face and swallows them.
Sounds about right.
And then kind of flirts with I would almost call him Josuke. Jotaro.
Are you surprised? I'm not.
And then Jotaro is like, well, I guess I'll flirt back. And she's like, I don't believe you. Chomp.
And then Jotaro becomes a dentist.
Well, at least he knows what he's going to do when he grows up.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was kind of funny. They end before commercial break. Oh no, he might be dead. Anyways, here's a promo for future episodes.
I guess we should talk briefly about the Egypt arc promo that played. I thought that was pretty cool that they did that.
Yeah, they made an actual promo for this second half of Stardust Crusaders. That's cool.
Yeah.
They didn't really have to do that. It reminds me of when they did a Water 7, they did an Ennie's Lobby promo.
Yeah. That was awesome.
It's cool. It kind of makes me wonder why they do it. I mean, they didn't have to. It just seems interesting that they did.
I mean, they really like JoJo.
I mean, it could be they're trying to make sure that people, know that, oh, hey, tune in, shit's about to get real.
Trust us, guys. You will see Dio. You will see the famous part everyone loves.
Eventually.
Also, Dio was finally in the show again.
Kinda.
Kinda.
I'm actually pretty excited for this next, because I know, again, I knew a little bit about this first half. Like I knew a little bit about what happened. I know nothing about the next part at all. So
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I know
man,
there's a dog, but that's all I know.
there's a dog. Yep. The dog is literally being helicoptered in. The world's best dog. He is the
Yeah.
goodest of boys. He is not. He is not the goodest of boys.
That makes him the goodest of boys, though.
He is the opposite of the goodest of boys.
He's a bad dog. A bad dog.
I like how at the end of the episode they got out of their car just to pose.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that we got a recap of everything that happened so far.
Yep.
Remember all these people they beat up?
I like that though. Like, again, for some reason, JoJo is such a silly show. Like, I'll forgive it when it does things like this.
Well, it should be mentioned this was originally the end of the first half, and you had to wait 4 months before the second half started, so that's probably why they did it.
No, you had to wait an entire half year.
6 months.
Yep.
Crazy.
It took a
Well,
2-month break, and it's
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, this is a little unusual because, I mean, we've had other anime shows that have had 2 parts and didn't seem like as much of an, like a thing like this where they would do a recap or something.
Right.
Makes more sense knowing that it was on hiatus.
Also, that's probably also the promo probably serves to be like, hey, don't worry, it's airing right after this. If you knew that these things were kind of separate and didn't realize we had got both at the same time, worry no longer.
It's still coming.
It's here next week.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Polnareff just goes over after they. So Jotaro breaks all the teeth, and Polnareff's like, I wonder if she's hot. Goes over. Oh! Fucking Polnareff, man.
Being Polnareff is suffering.
And enemy stand user is like dead on the ground. He's like, I wonder if she's hot.
It makes sense because whatever happens to your stand happens to you, and Jotaro freaking punched the teeth out of that thing. So
it is ironically, so this is the only time Jotaro will ever punch a lady. Except not really, because he only punched the stand's teeth. Anyway. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to say you're right. It took me a minute to think, like, oh yeah, you're right. It was.
It's going to take a while. It is actually going to take like until part 6 before we actually see a female character get like full on punched in the face on screen.
Well, I mean, that's not too surprising. This show just doesn't have very many female characters, period.
Nope.
This is true.
I mean, they pretty much had to take Midler and like they gave her a full on redesign for the Capcom game just to add another female to the roster.
Can't wait for her version in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Fighter Z. Which is definitely a game that will be made.
I was wondering what they're going to call these, like the One Piece version of Fighters. I'm sure they'll make. They better make one.
They better make one.
They have to.
One Piece Pirate Warriors.
There you go.
The Z doesn't make sense.
Bizarre Adventure.
The Z is there because it's Dragon Ball. It would be something else. It'd be like One Piece.
One Piece Gold Fighters.
Pirates. Pirate. I don't know. Hell. I'll have to think about it.
Sorry, what was that?
Pirate Fighters.
Yeah, or something.
Basic thing. One Piece fighting game. It just comes out. Untitled One Piece fighting game. Just put it on the box.
Call it like One Piece New World Warriors.
Sure.
That's not bad.
Good.
One Piece Plunder Battle. Guys, want to talk about Gundam?
Okay.
Whoa, what's that?
That is
Sorry.
someone is.
Hey, can you mute your mic when you're doing that? It sounded like you were taking a leak.
No, I'm sorry. I was getting some water.
Now let me
Something
very
got stuck in the back
quietly
of my
eat this
throat.
apple. Anyway, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans episode 40, lit by a blazing sun, the blazing sun of our rage for Local Man.
Oh my god.
Local Man has
worst.
ascended from just kind of total dumbass to, okay, I hope that guy dies.
I mean, he's
Horribly.
a war criminal at this point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This
I
Well,
mean,
they
before he,
They may
I mean, he
all
was-
be war criminals, but whatever.
but I mean, Local Man has gone above and beyond to be a war criminal at this point. In like a show full of war criminals, he's like head honcho.
It's gone from like, my God, this guy is so dumb and ruins everything he touches to die.
Yeah, I mean,
Didn't die.
at this point, it's like just murder him already. Just someone. I don't care who.
Not since Spandam has a character been in a show just this completely like
Unlikable.
this character is fully intended to be an absolute rage sink.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, he doesn't realize it. Like, at least Spandam knows he's like a giant asshole. Like, this guy, he thinks he's the good guy.
I like the scene. I liked it too when the he's doing all this stuff, basically ordering defenseless women to their to die, basically by shooting at them, and then when Naze, in a moment of heroism, tries to crash his ship into this idiot, he goes and cowers behind his captain's chair like a pussy.
Also, remember earlier, Captain, should we put the bridge into attack mode? No.
That was such a good opportunity to just kill him off right
No,
there.
they're gonna milk this dude for all the rage. You were gonna have to wait. This dude exists to make the other villains not quite as detestable. Because, well, at least they're not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's I think we've said we're going in circles here.
Like when you put
he's terrible. We get it. He's bad.
When Julieta is standing next to him, you're like, I legitimately love Julieta.
If she kills him, she will be my favorite character on this show.
That would be a nice twist.
Like, whoever kills him will just ascend to best character.
All right. Well, anyway, so yeah, I mean, ultimately though, overall, that's a very intense episode. I thought it was really good. I mean, not just because of making you really detest Eok, but just like in general, like, you got Akihiro and the other guys showing up and trying to be big, bold heroes, which was a nice moment.
Yeah.
Coming in to help the girls out, and it was a lot of drama and sacrifice, and I think it was pretty well done. Like the whole scene with Orga, and the guys coming to Orga and they're like trying to say that they're going to go and help, but he can't technically order them to.
Right.
Because then it would be, he can't do that. But then they're like, oh no, this is off the books. We're doing this for you, Orga. And Orga's just like bowing his head. He's like, save him. Which sucks because they weren't able to do it.
Yep.
I mean, they saved like one or two of them at least.
No, they saved the girls, a lot of the girls.
Yeah.
But like he wanted them to save Naze.
He was never
because he
making
was
it
calling
out.
him like brother and stuff.
Yeah, that dude was never making it out. Like, he had all the death flags.
Yeah.
Like, every single death flag you could possibly have, this guy had.
And they all got away and they're all fine. Anyway.
Yep.
This episode also contained more Hush carrying around Mikazuki like a potato sack. Just like leaving this hugely important, like in the meeting, Mikazuki's just like in like a power position on the couch and then walking out, stacked potatoes.
They need to get that man in like a Professor Xavier chair or something. I mean, this is embarrassing for him.
He should just live inside a Gundam.
He probably would if he could.
Anyway, do we have anything else about this episode other than fuck Eok?
Fuck Eok.
Why does she want to squeeze my throat?
like that picture. Who posted that picture in the thread where it said like Akihiro might get laid?
Oh yeah. Like the second piece of that, the second part of that is like Akihiro might get laid if there's like an if that's cut off at the edge of that, and that's the makes it the best.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the worldly knowledge enough to know that she was hitting on him, which is pretty cool and funny.
No, he does not.
I mean, basically, whenever she says, "Man, I'm really gonna take it to him in the simulator," it means we're really gonna fuck.
Did that was the Twin Tails girl? Did she make it out?
She's shown crying at the end of the episode.
Okay,
Yep, she made it.
It was
Because
just
she's one of the Gundam people. She's one of the mech people.
That's right.
Yeah, they can't kill her off.
What'd you say, Zonic?
It was just the girl with the scar on her stomach that died.
Okay. Yeah. The right hand woman of Naze.
Yeah.
Basically,
like she
like
almost killed
the female
Eok.
of the turbans, basically.
She
Oh my
almost
god,
killed
Eok
Eok, though.
almost died so many times.
Like, I was so pissed when
Just
that bullet
barely
hit.
don't pierce the windshield, and then just kind of like, eep.
Like I was just waiting for the cracks to like get further and explode and kill him in explosive decompression. I was willing. I was like, "Come on, break, break, break!" Like no dice. Like, couldn't she get off another shot? Just one more.
Has anyone here seen this show?
I mean, I know what happens, kinda.
Okay,
I got no clue.
What? Okay, so you don't. Zonic, do you know? Zonic, do you know what happens in this show?
Nope.
Okay, so just between me and B-Dubs and Zonic, you don't say anything, Grex. Between us three, though, who do you think is going to kill Eok?
Himself.
I agree with that.
Oh, that's a good one. I wasn't even thinking that, actually.
Like he's gonna do something that results in his own death.
Yeah, it's probably the most appropriate way for him to die.
I mean, it seems inevitable. I mean, he almost died how many times as a result of his own actions?
Well, what I was going to say was, I think his men are going to turn on him.
Oh, God, that's almost as good.
Just walking down a hallway with Julietta behind him, just like.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, too brute.
Anyway, I thought I'd ask.
I think it needs to be one of these two things. Either his men finally need to get sick of him and realize, oh, wait, we got to kill this guy. He's horrible. Or he actively kills himself.
There's always the good old classic Mikazuki cold-heartedly ends a dude.
Well,
that's the most likely
that.
scenario.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's... I like these other ideas more because it's more ironic, appropriate, or whatever.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter x Hunter, episode 83, Inspiration to Evolve. In this episode, they fight a whole bunch of nameless grunts and kill them all. Next.
Now, they do kill a bunch of nameless grunts, but we get to see another one of Kite's weapons, which was also a bad roll.
Mm-hmm. Always a bad roll.
So how many have we seen so far? Just the gun and the scythe?
We've seen the machine gun he uses when he first meets Gon and Killua. We've seen... We've seen...
I thought that was the same gun.
No, we've seen that, yeah.
Oh, right.
That was a machine gun. That was like a semi-auto.
Okay. Right, the machine
Which
gun.
makes it kind of not great for shooting at a tiny little ant, so...
Right. Okay, we saw the machine gun,
We've
The
seen
gun he used,
the big
the-
fucking one-shot gun,
right, and the
and
scythe,
we've seen the scythe.
Okay.
which is basically one shot everyone around him.
Yep,
So how many are there? Are there 9?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's got 9 rolls and 9 weapons.
Again, I don't get it. It was the perfect weapon. Why was it a bad roll?
He just doesn't like it. I mean,
I
it's probably
basically
a
saw
bad
some
roll.
editorial guy saying, "Well, everyone's gonna die, so sucks for them." It's like it's a bad roll for everyone he's gonna kill.
Well,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
thought
it's
he meant like
also
it was a bad roll, like he could have got a better weapon.
Who knows?
well, I mean, it's also kind of a bad roll because he's got to make sure that Gon and Killua aren't like collateral damage.
Oh, that's true. He did tell them they have to jump. Yeah,
Yeah, like he could have accidentally killed them with that one.
yeah.
I-
That,
the
that makes some more
editorial-
sense. Yeah.
Also said that it was a bad roll because the scythe can only do that one thing. So instead of like 1v1s, it's like, guess they're all dying.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's exactly what you would want to happen, though.
Well, maybe he
Probably.
didn't want to be. Man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, he
I
wanted to
think it was
sort
a
of
good
train.
roll, except
Yeah.
for the Gon and Killua being there. That maybe made sense. If it's a bad roll because he doesn't want to hit them, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, well, like that's what I read it as. So
Yeah.
So in the start of this episode, Kite's very fortunate people who got the fuck out of Dodge before they inevitably became ant food are looking at some very horrifying like corporate structure graphs. And it's like, that's horrifying.
yep,
Well, they're basically setting up the information we're going to need to know soon once the king is born.
And the Royal
Yeah.
Guard.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
the
these guys will go over here.
Yeah, because the royal guard follow the queen until the king gets born. Then they basically just fuck off and follow the king.
Yeah. So it's like, remember this once you see these guys later.
Because then there's going to be another royal guard and another king.
Yeah, it just continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they eventually just take over the world.
hmm
And then what happens? They create countries and nation states and start fighting each other. And is humanity the real monster?
Well, Gon crushed an armadillo.
He did. It was awesome.
That's fine.
He looked up electrocuting that one dude in his heart until, he pulled it out.
And then Gon just fucked that. He fucked that armadillo dude so hard, man.
Oh, man. He
He
could
was
not
just like,
handle that.
okay. And then, meanwhile, back at the Dung Castle,
hmm Oh, boy.
Colt's just like, "Hey, Ramat, I know you want to punch me in the face, so
Do
punch
it."
me in the face real hard."
Oh, yeah. It really sucks for, humanity that Colt is as smart as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they've got an actual intelligent person with Ned. I mean, it was bad enough when they had that dumbass bunny man, but now Colt, Jesus Christ, he's going to wind up giving it to everybody.
So that's kind of it.
hmm
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like the actual UN, like that was the UN building.
Yep.
Is
Oh,
is like, sorry.
Netero, the old dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's getting in on it.
They're just like calling up Netero. Hey, can you fuck these guys up for us? Yeah.
We need
Well,
them
then-
really fucked up.
And then he was like saying something about, okay, I see their agenda. They're going to pin this on the hunters.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically going to drive the ants to extinction and then blame the hunters for it.
Yeah.
Even though that's exactly what needs to happen here.
Anyway. Anything else about Hunter x Hunter?
I think that's it. I mean, like, it's just more like, even though it was an entertaining episode, really not much happened.
Right.
Right. I mean, next episode is what was the preview?
There wasn't a preview.
Oh, oh,
I mean, they don't. They usually cut out the preview on Toonami airings.
good point.
So there was no episode of Naruto today.
No, there was not.
Wait,
Nope.
you're not gonna get. I don't get to talk about the girl who got defeated by water.
Okay, I talked
just
really
wanna
quickly about the
mention-
girl who got defeated by water.
Okay, so there was this no-name Kunoichi who shows up, who's part of some leaf village or some village that we're never going to see again because she's filler, and she's having this fight, and then somebody does something, and a light, small amount of water splashes on her, and she's defeated.
What?
Oh no, water!
That
My only-
that happened in this episode, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Her only weakness.
She got lightly doused with water and was beaten.
Oh no, it's me, the aliens from Signs! Ah!
Other than that, I don't remember anything else that happened. So
There was a super old Genin
Yeah.
who knew a bunch
Nar-
of Hokage shit.
oh yeah.
He was Naruto in the future.
And then we had to frustratingly watch as Naruto could not put two and two together.
Nope.
Like, even this old dude's like, hey, it's the fourth Hokage's kid.
He's like the old dude's like going around like cooking stuff, but then like at the same time finding all the like tracks and everything of the bad guys. And Naruto's like, how were you doing that? You were just collecting food. It's like, dude, figure it out. Come on.
He's not actually garbage.
Anyway, that's it. I
All
don't
right,
even,
we started
I'm sure this old man will never show up ever again.
Just
Yeah.
wait till he's the final boss. Surprise,
snaps.
motherfucker.
This is
Outlaw
what you
Star.
get for not. Okay.
Outlaw Star, episode 21, Grave of the Dragon, in which they must face the Trial of the Dragon. Ah,
No, in all seriousness.
all about ancient aliens.
Yes, basically. Well, I mean, it's funny. There are literal ancient aliens in this series, but you can buy it. It's Outlaw Star. Why not? There's aliens all over the place. So they go to some planet that they think where the galactic ley line is. They find this Aztec-looking temple. They go inside. There's a big what's a statue of something? What was it?
It's a pillar man.
No, it was like a lion or something.
It was like the Demon Lord Ball.
Yeah, anyway. So they're like snooping around in there trying to figure out what's going on. Melfina apparently like can touch the wall and make it glow, and they don't understand what's happening there. So that's kind of that aspect of the episode. And then the other part of the episode was basically the McDougalls show up.
Oh no, not the McDougalls.
Those assholes.
Yes, those actual assholes.
Melfina goes out onto a cliff and she starts singing the ending theme to the show in English, which was kind of a nice scene
Mm-hmm.
and unexpected. And she actually sings pretty well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that almost sounds like the original Japanese singer. I was very impressed with how well that was done.
Yeah, this show continues to surprise me in the quality of its dub, considering it's such an old dub.
Yeah.
But of course, her song is cut short when none other than Creeper McCreepface Harry McDougal shows up in his power armor.
Who
And
we
starts-
just learned recently shares a voice with McGillis.
Oh
Of course
god,
he does.
Of course he
It,
does.
And
he starts like acting really weird. Like he starts like crying and stuff.
Like he's
This
just
dude
weird.
is this dude is the personification of nice guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's desperate.
He just wants to be loved.
Then Gene shows up and is like, "Hey, stop hitting on her. You're freaking Harry McDougal, the bad guy. I'm gonna shoot at you now."
And then he's like,
Yeah.
power loader! I brought this power loader just in case I needed it for my date.
I'm not a bad guy or anything. I just walk around in this combat equipped power loader.
I just really like Alien.
But no, P gets defeated, and suddenly, like a bunch of rocks fall on him or something, and he's crushed. His brother ends up finding him, but then like sees his face, and he's like, we don't see him, but he's like, "Oh, Harry, what did they do to you?" So I'm assuming his face is probably all fucked up now.
Yep.
And then
DTL am cry.
yes. And then the final twist to the episode, as they're leaving the planet, that old professor guy shows up on their screen, and he's like, "Haha, fuck you guys," and flicks a switch, and suddenly Melfina loses all her emotions.
Yep. And
I
everyone's
completely
like,
forgot
"How's?"
it existed.
And
Yeah.
everyone's like, "How's that different from normal?"
Actually made me kind of mad.
What the?
Sorry,
What the hell was that?
it's my ringtone. It's
Oh,
Mega
is
Man.
his phone.
There's a lot of weird sounds today.
But anyway, that kind of made me mad because like I like Melfina, and she just keeps getting shit on in this show.
Mm-hmm.
The old
Mhm.
dude's like, "You're gonna do this shit for me, or you're never gonna get the old Melfina back."
Well,
What's
maybe
that
they like
guy's
the new
name?
Melfina.
I don't even remember.
Dickwad.
Yeah,
Wait, the
he was.
professor?
What was it?
Khan.
Khan. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Just another in a string of assholes this week.
Yep.
That was this episode.
Yeah,
They
unless
also
you guys have.
destroyed priceless ruins. Fuck them.
Oh yeah, 10,000-year-old ruins just got blown up. I thought it was a good episode. I mean, like, there was a lot of good character development. I felt like in this episode,
Yep.
Yep.
you got like a cool little moment with like Jim and Aisha in the, they have like a little talk and stuff. That's good. I like
Mhm.
it.
Oh, sorry. Just a sec. Anyway, this was a bad episode of Dandy. I'm just really wanted to really quickly talk about this Cowboy Bebop episode because this is the first one I've never seen a second of.
Seriously?
The
Mhm.
space shuttle one.
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean, I
that
didn't
one.
even know the space shuttle was in this episode.
It's awesome.
And then they wheel it out, and it's Columbia, and I'm like,
Oh.
And then they're like, and then the guy says, "Man, this could be dangerous. Those like heat plates are kind of rusty," and it's like, ooh.
Yep. It's one
That's
of
all.
those things. It's like they did their research on that.
It's
No,
like,
they didn't. This was made before the accident.
No, I know, but that was always sort of an issue. That's why the upkeep was so much
Yeah,
for the shuttles. They had to constantly replace the, heat shields and
Yeah.
whatnot.
That's true. Yeah, it would have been kind of cooler and more like canonically accurate if they had used like the Enterprise.
Aquarius, or that.
The Enterprise, the one that never actually went into space.
oh yeah.
The one that was just done for like glide tests or whatever. That'd have been kind of more interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Columbia was the really famous one, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was like the one that was used the most, I think.
Yeah.
Like it had the
Like,
most
I-
flight time.
Yeah, I think it was like the first one.
It might be. I don't remember that, but I just remember it being like one of the. It had the most like, whatever STS missions or whatever.
I feel like the one that got the short end of the stick was Atlantis.
Probably. I mean,
The
at
one
least
you
it got
least
to go into
remember it
space.
existed.
I mean, at least it got to go into space, though.
What did you think of it?
Hmm?
The episode.
It was good.
I actually didn't remember this episode. I mean, I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, this episode, but I didn't really remember much about it.
It feels like this episode is absolutely nobody's favorite episode.
It just sort of happens.
Forget it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it, but you know.
Anyway, anything else about Toonami this week?
You want to talk about the titty monster?
No.
Well, I will say this. I think like most people, I was like, oh no, it's this episode of Space Dandy. I would say though, in hindsight, this episode isn't as bad as I remembered it being. Like the only really bad part is the very end when the monster changes. The rest of the episode's actually all right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some funny moments in that in the first half of that episode, I think.
Yeah, I always thought this was the worst, along with episode 6 with, what was it, those underwear aliens? But wow, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Especially the only part I remember being good was the fact Dandy gets a giant robot called, what was it?
It was called like the Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Loa or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. And that was another thing I had forgotten from this episode was the robot transformation, which was also pretty cool. And like the whole joke about like QT buying all that expired food from like a million years ago. That was a funny gag that paid off in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, my point being, not as bad an episode as I remember. Still not one of the best, but it's not as bad. The titty monster is just kind of whatever.
It's
People were
ridiculous.
saying this is the worst episode. It's not. It's the Cloudian one from season 2. The actual episode I remember jack fucking shit about. Good.
I'm kind of with Zonic though. Like the underwear episode, I just remember again. That's another one I'm going to be interested to see what my reaction is to that one because that's one that I also think is really bad from memory.
That one being boring until like the last minute. It's like, oh my god, look at this gorgeous animation.
Yeah, it does have that.
Right.
Well, like I said in the thread, the next 2 episodes are some of my favorites.
It's the zombie one next.
Oh yes.
I love that one.
Can't wait to see reactions.
Also,
So good.
here's a headline that's currently right here on.
I know. I just saw it.
etc. Live action Sword Art Online sold to Netflix. But
So
don't
they're
worry,
Yeah.
Kirito and Asuna will be played by Asian actors.
Yay?
I mean, okay, yeah, good. Don't like whitewash. Like, don't pull a Ghost in the Shell again.
Right.
What is
I mean,
with all these live action anime all of a sudden?
Like
I don't
Hollywood realized that is like, well, we've run out of things. Oh my god, anime is a thing.
yeah.
Ugh.
Except, they got to make it live action and completely shit it up. Like, I mean, I will say that if you're going to whitewash, you better damn well do something with it. Because, like, I remember, looking at the Death Note thing, and they're like, oh, they're going to whitewash it, but L's going to be black. And I'm like, oh, okay, they can tell an interesting story with that, and they never did. But, I mean, I have no hope for live action SAO.
Well, and they're also working on the One Piece thing.
Oh, yeah, they are. Well, I mean, the One Piece thing, I mean, even Oda was like, it's more of an international cast,
Well, I'm not talking about the whitewashing. I mean, so much now. I'm just talking about they just keep making these anime live action things, and it's like
I think the One Piece thing is more Jump trying to, figure out if they can make One Piece a thing in the U.S. because it hasn't been. Because I mean, it's basically like they're the Japanese equivalent of like Harry Potter or something, and they're sort of looking at it in the U.S. They're like, why isn't this the biggest thing they've ever seen in their lives?
Okay, I guess, but like, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but just like, it's such a it's so hard to make animation work that transition into live action. Like you lose so much of the charm of the character stuff when you go live action. It's just,
I mean, I'm just sort of like, no, it probably is, but I mean, just sort of like, I could see it working, but the amount of money they would have to spend on CG, especially after like the second season, assuming the first two seasons is just all East Blue. Like everything after that is just going to be prohibitively expensive.
It's made worse by the fact that, like, One Piece in particular, like SAO, maybe
You can
not.
get it, yeah.
It's maybe
I
not
mean-
as bad because that character designs in SAO aren't over the top. Like they're meant
Right.
to be mostly normal looking people.
Right. And-
The
and
One
there's
Piece
not a
world
lot
is
of
made
weird
up of like
powers.
crazy cartoon characters.
Yeah. I mean, and they can tone that down a little bit, maybe.
But
But I
then
mean,
it's not the same.
no, it's not going to be the same. But I can see why they want to try. They'd probably think, okay, maybe it's a little too cartoony for the West, so we'll try and sort of grit it up a little bit. We'll go live action.
That's
But
terrible.
I know it is.
You're missing the point then.
I know. You're telling me.
I know.
But
I mean, I know what you're saying. You're thinking
Yeah.
what they're thinking, but
Yeah.
any fan of the series would tell you
I
that's
know.
not gonna work.
I know. I know. It's just one of those things. They're looking at this. They're like, why the hell is this not the most popular thing anyone's ever seen?
I think it's the same reason 4Kids fuck it up the dub. It's like they don't get what's good about the show. They're not promoting what's good about it.
Oh
So-
my god, I'm reading this Sword Art Online story and I just read this sentence.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
They are, in my mind anyway, much like Major Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost of the Shell, defined in part by being seminal characters in an Asian piece of art.
They are not seminal.
That was the sound of me blowing my brains out. Okay.
Oh, God. Look on the bright side. At least we're never going to get this movie. It's not
Yes, we
going to
will.
air.
This is coming to Netflix.
It's coming to Netflix, but we're not going to have to watch it on Toonami.
Yeah, that's true.
Hail. Coming to Toonami.
If it's coming to Toonami, I'm just going to blow my brains out.
What we're going to have to deal with is the 50-episode season 3.
Oh, God. And then the spin-off season.
No, not
did-
that one.
I did
I'm
see that the spin-off season, like I saw like you know how they put up those graphics that say like, here's all the shows premiering this season?
Yep.
It's the key art.
Like that big tiled image of all the, I saw
Uh-huh.
the new SAO spin-off on that list.
It starts in April.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get it.
No,
I
we are.
mean-
Have you? If you've seen the poster contains like what is clearly the villain lady. She just has like this super long cat body, and she's like doing some weird thing with her boobs, and it's like,
It's
You know
SAO
what?
on.
we're not
know
going to
what,
get
guys?
that one.
I am not complaining because it's either going to be fine or it's going to be a train wreck that you can't look away from.
But
And
what if it's
I'd
what
be
if
okay
it's,
with either.
what if it fucks up so hard that it ends up unicorn boring?
That would be the worst. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think
Like,
it's more
they-
likely to be stupid.
Like the worst thing that could happen is they fix enough of the flaws from SAO, but don't make it interesting enough, and it becomes 50 episodes of unicorn.
Oh, God,
Yeah, that would be
no.
worse. But like it could also, this is why I'm reserving judgment. What if it ended up being like the best parts of the of that last arc that we got? What's her face? No, the good one, the one with
I've
the
read some things about what happens with
have you read the
Kayaba
plot-
in this season 3, and ooh.
No, I'm
have
talking
you
about
read
the
the
spin-off.
plot
I'm talking about
summary?
the spin-off. The spin-off.
No, like I said, go look at that poster and look at what that villain lady is doing to her body.
Okay.
Where is it?
I like
I'd have to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm looking through the anime thread. I'm hoping to come across it.
What do you, Zonic? You haven't said anything. What do you think?
Well, thinking who was going to make it, and apparently it's the person who's doing that Altered Carbon show. They did the screenplay for Shutter Island. They
Wait,
did
for what?
For that Sword Art Online.
Oh.
They were a producer for Avatar. Executive producer for Terminator Genesis. So,
So yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I was curious. Well, what do you think about this new SAO seasons that are coming out that we will likely get on Toonami?
I mean, wait, is this? I think I found the poster. Is it the one with like the girl in the red outfit, and then like the villain is just like stroking her tits or something?
Yep, that's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Totally done. No.
Where is it? Where is it?
Just sort of online spin-off. It's literally the first poster.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the biggest thing for me is just being boring because I actually dropped Unicorn just because there was nothing of value for me to take away from it.
Yeah.
And at least we tend to say A Comic Get Killed is one of the worst shows on the block. But my God, I would gladly take that just because of how entertainingly bad it is. Like,
Yeah,
Oh
see,
my
here's the
God.
thing. I don't see this spin-off show from SAO being unicorn boring just looking at this poster.
Oh
I'm like,
God.
they're doing some stupid stuff in this poster. It's going to be probably pretty terrible and entertaining in that
I'm
way,
just
you
saying
know.
the actual SAO season 3, the worst thing would be if they made it a bit better in ways that actually made it unicorn boring, aka worse.
Wait, so I'm looking at this poster and I'm like, how does the anatomy even make sense on this lady?
Anime.
this
Because I mean, it's like her breasts are like you can disconnect them almost. Like they're not like.
so it
Duh.
just this spin-off is based on the novels written by the author who did Kino's Journey, which from what I've heard is supposed to be really good. So maybe it has a chance of being all right.
Yeah, I think it's too early to sell. I mean, I think I'm willing to go in open-minded, as terrible as because again, like in the worst case scenarios, well, I don't know, there's worst case scenarios, but I'm just saying that like SAO has yet to not be entertaining to me, even when it's like bad entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to go into this thinking it's going to be unicorn yet. I think it's more likely to either be terribly funny or maybe good, but I don't expect unicorn levels of boring.
I mean, I'm just expecting SAO season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
even
pretty entertaining.
at least
I mean, it ended on Super AIDS, so
yeah, aside from that, but it's like there was at least little bits of like, this could work in better hands. Like the arc where they're just like, yeah, let's just play the game and do a raid to get this magical sword item. It's like that was actually kind of fun because it didn't deal with a stupid plot or finding a way to demean the women in the show.
and it still found a way.
Anyway, that'll about do it for this episode of the Toonami Escape Podcast. Thank you, Zonic.
Yep.
Thank you, C. Kohler.
No problem.
Thank you, B-Dubs.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 92. Good night.